Do you think sinkholes are just dark, ugly, and terrifying pits? In reality, some sinkholes are not only deadly, but also incredibly beautiful, making you shiver while you can't take your eyes off them. From the depths of the ocean to the heart of cities, here is the list of the top 10 most beautiful sinkholes in the world. Magical, mysterious, but always hiding deadly danger. The Great Blue Hole, the eye of the sea Belize from above. Amidst the dazzling turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea, a massive, almost perfect black circle emerges. Not an optical illusion, but a real geological phenomenon, one of the largest underwater sinkholes on Earth, the Great Blue Hole, located off the coast of Belize. This sinkhole spans nearly 300 meters in diameter and plunges over 120 meters deep. Viewed from a satellite, it resembles the eye of the ocean, silently observing all life above, while hiding a deadly world beneath. In reality, this hole was formed during the Ice Age, when sea levels were much lower. It was once a limestone cave on land, but after centuries of being submerged by rising seawater, the cave's roof collapsed, creating the deep abyss we see today. The beauty of the Great Blue Hole attracts thousands of divers from around the world every year. The crystal clear waters allow visibility down to tens of meters. Giant stalactites at the bottom of the hole serve as a testament to millions of years of being buried and preserved. However, this beauty is not accompanied by safety. The site is a deadly trap for the careless. Many have lost their lives due to unpredictable strong currents, oxygen depletion at great depths, or getting lost in underwater caves. Some reports suggest that bodies still lie at the bottom, a chilling reminder that nature is never merciful. In 1971, legendary ocean explorer Jacques Cousteau visited and brought this hole to the world's attention. He included it in his list of the 10 best dive spots on Earth. But even he warned, the beauty of the blue hole can make you dreamy. But just 1 second of inattention, and it won't forgive you. For the local people of Belize, the Great Blue Hole is more than just a landmark. They believe it is a gateway to the afterlife, where ancient spirits dwell. An ancient Mayan legend tells that when the god of death becomes angry, his eye opens in the middle of the sea, and anyone who gazes upon it must pay with a part of their soul. Stunning, mysterious, deadly. The Great Blue Hole is proof that within the most beautiful things, the most terrifying dangers can also reside. Dean's Blue Hole, the gateway to hell in Paradise, Bahamas. Hidden between the pristine white sands and the crystal clear waters of the Bahamas lies a seemingly peaceful hole. But in reality, it is one of the most dangerous places on Earth. This is Dean's Blue Hole, the deepest underwater sinkhole in the world, with an impressive depth of 202 meters. If the Great Blue Hole of Belize is the eye of the ocean, then Dean's Blue Hole feels like a time rift, pulling light and sound down to its very depths. Standing on the shore, you'll see the still water reflecting the sky like a giant mirror. But just a few meters from the white sand, the earth seems to drop into nothingness, shifting from turquoise to an unfathomable dark blue. Dean's Blue Hole attracts the world's top freedivers. With no oxygen tanks or support equipment, they face themselves in their journey deep beneath the ocean. However, many of them never resurface. The swirling underground currents within the hole can deceive even the most experienced divers. The pressure increases rapidly as they go deeper, causing blood to clot, lungs to constrict, and a sense of disorientation that attacks the brain. Some have died from descending just an additional 5 meters. The beauty here is paradoxical. When sunlight pierces through the water, creating beams of golden light throughout the hole, it resembles a doorway to paradise. But beneath that beauty lies deadly stillness. There are no fish, no coral reefs, just darkness and an overwhelming cold sensation. The locals refer to this place as the Gateway of Death. According to the ancient Lucayan legend, Dean's Blue Hole is where the souls of the lost are led to the sea. Some have reported hearing voices calling from the depths, soft and mesmerizing, only to never resurface. In 2013, American freediving champion Nicholas Mavoli tragically died while attempting to break a world record here. He surfaced with a slight smile, then silently lost consciousness and never woke up. His death became a symbol of the fragile boundary between the desire to conquer and the ultimate sacrifice. Dean's Blue Hole is more than just a natural wonder. It is a place where beauty and death exist in one breath. Bima Sinkhole, the emerald jewel in the desert Oman. Amidst the barren lands where the scorching sun blazes and the limestone cliffs crack, Bima Sinkhole rises as a stunning paradox of nature. Unlike the ominous black holes that evoke fear, Bima appears like a fairy tale lake lost in the desert. Emerald green, crystal clear, and utterly captivating, located just about 120 kilometers from Muscat. This sinkhole has a diameter of approximately 50 meters and a depth of 20 meters. It is believed to have formed when the limestone layer beneath suddenly collapsed, creating a massive void in the earth. But for the locals, this explanation is rather mundane, according to legend. A meteorite fell here thousands of years ago, leaving behind a strange green stain. The Arabic name Hoyat Nahim translates to fallen star, and since then, Bima Sinkhole has been associated with a sacred belief in either a gift or a curse from the sky. When the morning sun shines, the surface of the water reflects shimmering ripples. Stone steps lead from the edge of the sinkhole down to the water, making visitors feel as though they are stepping into an underground temple, so tranquil that you can hear your own heartbeat. Many have called this place the most beautiful natural swimming pool in the world. Thousands of tourists flock here to immerse themselves in the cool, refreshing waters, with many believing in its ability to heal both the body and the spirit. Yet, Bima remains a true sinkhole in every sense of the word. Beneath the peaceful waters lies fragile limestone, hidden caves, and a network of unexplored sinkholes. Geologists warn that if subterranean pressures change, the hole could expand at any moment. Moreover, small cracks around the edge of the sinkhole continue to spread over time. At times, local authorities have had to erect fences and limit access during the rainy season, as the risk of landslides is very real. Bima is unlike other sinkholes. It's not dark, not eerie, and it doesn't pull people down in an instant. It is quiet, serene, and for that reason, all the more dangerous. This place is a testament to nature's eternal paradox. Beauty isn't always gentle, and serenity isn't always safe. Shaoji Tiankeng, the giant sky well of China hidden deep within the forests of Chongqing, China, where mist weaves through the ancient trees and birds echo across the cliffs, lies one of the world's most breathtaking yet lesser-known geological wonders. Shaoji Tiankeng, also known by the poetic name the Sky Well. This is the world's largest natural sinkhole, with a depth of 660 meters, a width of nearly 530 meters, and a volume exceeding 130 million cubic meters. From above, the hole appears as a colossal gash in the Earth's surface, as though nature itself used an invisible blade to carve into the planet, allowing sunlight to seep down into the deepest layers of the earth, illuminating a world nearly forgotten. What makes Shaozhai-Tiangking truly unique is not only its immense size, but also the mysterious ecosystem that exists within. This place has been described as a world of its own, where plants, animals, and climate seem to follow their own rules, disconnected from the rest of the planet. The temperature at the bottom of the hole is consistently about 10 degrees Celsius lower than at the top, with high humidity and mist that covers the area almost perpetually from the rim of the hole. A waterfall nearly 300 meters high cascades down, resembling a silken ribbon falling from the sky. The sound of the water crashing, combined with the howling wind through the rocks, creates a symphony that is both majestic and eerie. Biologists have discovered many species of plants never seen anywhere else, resembling an ancient forest trapped in a secluded world. However, reaching the heart of the sky well is not easy. Accessing the bottom of the sinkhole is extremely dangerous. The forest trails leading down are prone to landslides. Rocks can fall at any moment, and the sudden climate changes could cause entire exploration teams to get lost in the thick mist. Many expeditions have been forced to turn back halfway, simply because nature itself would not allow them to continue. Locals do not refer to this place as the Sky Well, but by its ancient name Tenmen, meaning Gate of Heaven. They believe this was once the site where the gods descended to earth, and the deep hole is the mark left after the deities returned to the heavens. There's a legend that every year, on a special night, a voice can be heard calling from the bottom of the hole, but not everyone can hear it. Shaozhai-Tiangking is not just a geological wonder, it is a beautiful wound on the Earth's surface, where nature reveals both life and danger in each layer of rock, each drop of mist, and each tree swaying at the bottom of the abyss. Not everyone has the courage to come close, but once you've seen it, you will never forget. Guatemala City Sinkhole, the sinkhole in the heart of the city. Not all sinkholes are found in wild, desolate deserts, dense jungles, or distant oceans. There's one that appeared right in the heart of a capital city among skyscrapers, traffic, and thousands of people living their ordinary lives. This is the Guatemala City Sinkhole, a surreal sight that haunted the world in 2010. On a fateful day in May, as Tropical Storm Agatha raged on, a strange noise echoed from the ground in a residential area in Guatemala's capital. Within seconds, the ground split open as though sliced by an invisible, massive knife. A 3-story building completely vanished. There was no explosion, no warning, only a haunting silence afterward. The sensation was described as the whole city gasping for breath. This sinkhole, nearly 90 meters deep and over 20 meters in diameter, is terrifying not only because of its size but also its shape. It's a perfectly round hole, as if made with the precision of a machine. Aerial photos quickly spread across the globe, leading many to believe they were altered images. But it was very much real. Geologists determined that the cause was due to a combination of weak drainage systems and years of groundwater erosion, which led to the sudden collapse. But for the people of Guatemala, it wasn't just a geological accident. It symbolized instability, uncontrolled urbanization, and the Earth's revenge on humankind. What's odd is that this wasn't the first time such an event had occurred in Guatemala. Just a few years earlier, in 2007, a similar sinkhole appeared not far from this site, swallowing homes and taking lives. Locals living near the area began referring to it as the Hollow Land, as no one knew how long the ground beneath their feet would remain intact. Visually, the Guatemala City sinkhole is one of the most striking sinkholes ever recorded. The sheer vertical walls resemble an artificial well, with brownish-red sides that plunge deep into the earth. In a strange way, it's beautiful, but in a cold and brutal manner. This sinkhole doesn't lie in a wild, untamed part of nature. It's right in the heart of a place where people thought they had everything under control. That's what makes it so terrifying. It serves as a reminder that beneath the concrete, under the bustling streets, is the earth, and it can crack. At any moment, the Guatemala City sinkhole is a visual warning that the man-made beauty of cities is no match for the quiet fury of nature. Devil's Sinkhole, the dark gate in sun-scorched Texas amid the scorched lands of Texas, where the sun sears the rocky soil and dry winds sweep through thorny cacti, lies a gaping hole so dark and deep it earned a name impossible to forget. Devil's Sinkhole. From afar, it may seem like nothing more than a small crater in the desert floor, but step closer, and your breath catches. The sinkhole's mouth spans over 15 meters wide, and below it plunges nearly 120 meters deep, as if a 40-story building had been swallowed whole by the earth. No guardrails, no lights, just a gaping abyss like a gate to hell, yawning open in the middle of the Texas wilderness. But Devil's Sinkhole is not just known for its terrifying depth. Each summer evening, as the sun dips below the blood-red horizon, millions of Mexican free-tailed bats erupt from its depths in a breathtaking natural spectacle. They burst forth in a living whirlwind, spiraling upward into the twilight sky, darkening the air like a reverse storm of shadows. This surreal display, like a rainstorm of souls rising from the underworld, is both haunting and mesmerizing. Many describe it as the spirits of the swallowed, returning briefly to the world. Above, riding the dry desert winds, the sinkhole serves as a summer nursery for the bats. They gather in vast colonies, giving birth and raising their young before disappearing again at the season's end. But for humans, reaching the bottom of this pit is nearly impossible. Its vertical limestone walls are brittle and unstable. One wrong step, and you'd tumble into a darkness untouched by sunlight. Years ago, an exploration team attempted to descend into the depths of the Devil's Sinkhole. Equipped with ropes, floodlights, and cameras, they hoped to map the cavern below. But halfway down, they encountered heavy mist and rising levels of toxic gas. The mission was aborted, and to this day, the deepest sections remain uncharted. An enigma swallowed in shadow. Unlike other famous sinkholes, Devil's Sinkhole doesn't welcome tourists with scenic trails or glittering blue waters. It is raw, primal, and merciless. Beautiful in the way a burning wasteland is beautiful. Beautiful like the silence of death. Locals no longer fear it. They respect it. They speak of the sinkhole as if it were alive, sometimes silent, sometimes growling, always harboring something unspeakable. In a world paved with asphalt and drenched in electric light, Devil's Sinkhole is a crack in the surface of modernity, a reminder that some places were never meant for us, and some kinds of beauty are not meant to be approached. Dragon Hole, the dragon's eye beneath. The South China Sea, China, hidden within the deep sapphire waters of the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea lies a place where legend and science intertwine, a place so mysterious it feels like the ocean itself holds its breath around it. This is the Dragon Hole, or Long Dong in Chinese, not just a sinkhole, but a mythical scar in the sea, where reality fades and mystery reigns. confirmed as the deepest blue hole in the world. Dragonhole plunges over 300 meters, even deeper than the famed Great Blue Hole of Belize. But its true power lies not only in its depth, but in the way it appears amidst the open sea, like a massive celestial eye, silently watching every ship, every creature that dares pass above it. From above, Dragonhole resembles a dark emerald gem, encircled by gentle turquoise waters. Yet as you approach, the light begins to vanish. The water darkens, thickens with silence. Submersible robots sent to explore the depths often return with incomplete data, their signals weakening mysteriously, as if something below doesn't want to be discovered. According to ancient Chinese mythology, the Dragon Hole is the dwelling of the Dragon King, the deity who controls tides, storms, and the balance of the seas. For generations, sailors believed that disturbing the dragons would awaken his fury, bringing waves, gales, and vanishing ships. And strangely, this myth carries a trace of truth. There have been reports of fishing vessels disappearing near the Dragonhole, with no distress calls, no debris, just silence. Some coastal fishermen speak of calm, quiet nights when strange echoes rise from the depths. Long, low, breath-like sounds, as if a colossal being sleeps beneath. Despite having no visible surface currents, the waters within the Dragonhole conceal a complex system of vertical currents. Deep inside lies a cold, oxygen-deprived, and lifeless zone, a dead layer, where no living creature survives. This creates an eerie world frozen in time, untouched by light, untouched by life. Even for expert divers, Dragonhole poses a deadly challenge. The pressure rises rapidly, oxygen levels drop drastically, and the network of submerged caves remains unmapped. Entering it is like embarking on a one-way journey with no promise of return. Dragonhole is not the kind of place you simply visit. It demands humility, respect, and an understanding that not everything in the sea is meant to be seen. Its beauty is magnetic, but beneath that allure is a silent warning, a reminder that some mysteries are best left untouched, amid millions of kilometers of boundless water. The Dragonhole stands as a mythical dent in the ocean, a dragon's eye ever open, guarding secrets that humankind may never be ready to uncover. Macungie Sinkhole, when the earth swallows life. Pennsylvania, USA. In the quiet town of Macungie, Pennsylvania, a place where life flowed gently. Lawns stayed green, and neighbors greeted one another over morning coffee. The unthinkable happened. One day in 2011, the ground, long trusted to be stable and safe, betrayed that trust. The Macungie Sinkhole isn't a spectacular natural wonder like the Great Blue Hole or Dragonhole. In fact, its power lies in the opposite. It appeared in the very place where people feel safest, right outside their homes, along familiar streets, turning everyday peace into something deeply unsettling. It started with a few heavy rains. Some residents noticed slight cracks in driveways, minor dips in sidewalks, nothing alarming. But then, one morning, over 30 meters of roadway suddenly collapsed. Trees, streetlights, and parts of nearby homes were swallowed into a gaping, 15-meter deep chasm. Water lines burst, and the street, once solid, opened like a torn sheet of paper. Witnesses described the sound as something almost alive, like a long groaning breath from beneath the earth. Then silence, no explosions, number warnings, just stillness and chaos tangled in the same moment. Thankfully, no lives were lost in that collapse. But what followed was a fear that lingered long after the dust settled. the people of Makunji began to live with a gnawing sense of uncertainty, as if they were walking atop a cracked eggshell, wondering where the next hole would open. And that's the most terrifying part. No one could say how many more voids lay quietly beneath their feet. Geologically, Makunji sits atop a layer of limestone, a rock that dissolves over time when exposed to groundwater, creating hidden cavities in a process called karst formation. These underground voids can grow silently for years until, one day, the surface can no longer hold and collapses. Science can explain it, but no explanation can ease the trauma of watching the ground vanish beneath your home. Visually, the Makunji sinkhole lacks the surreal beauty of ocean sinkholes or desert chasms. What it offers instead is a grim, haunting image of fractured pavement, ruptured pipes protruding like broken spines, and soil peeled back like torn skin, revealing a brutal truth. Beneath modern life lies only a fragile shell. This isn't a tourist attraction. No divers descend into its depths. No influencers pose for photos at its edge. But it forces a profound question. What happens when the very place you call home can vanish without a sound? Sometimes the scariest sinkholes aren't the deepest ones. They're the ones that open silently beneath your feet in the most ordinary places and remind you stability is only an illusion. Sinkholes cenote, the sacred mirror where the sun god gazes down Mexico, deep within the lush jungles of Mexico. Esa Yucatan Peninsula, where ancient Maya pyramids stand silently against time. There lies a sinkhole, so mystical, the locals dare not call it deadly. To them, it is a sacred space where gods reside. This is Sinkholes cenote, a divine gateway between the earthly and the eternal. From above, Sinkholes appears like a perfect well carved by celestial hands, about 60 meters wide and over 40 meters deep. Its steep limestone walls are draped with dangling tree roots, like the flowing hair of Mother Earth herself. When sunlight filters through the jungle canopy, golden rays pour straight down, illuminating the water below with an ethereal glow. It's as if a beam from the heavens had struck the earth and revealed a hidden passage to the divine dot. To the ancient Maya, cenotes were more than geological formations. They were sacred portals to Xibalba, the underworld of spirits, and Sinkholes was one of the most hallowed. Here, centuries ago, sacrificial rituals were performed to honor the gods of rain, sun, and life itself. Warriors, maidens, and captured enemies were offered to the waters. Their bodies returned to the gods in exchange for blessings from above. Dozens of human remains have been found at the bottom, along with ceremonial objects made of gold, jade, and obsidian, but none were removed. Locals believe the spirits still linger in the water, guarding their resting place. Those who dare disturb them risk the wrath of the gods. Today, Sinkholes is a place of wonder and pilgrimage. Thousands of visitors come not just to swim, but to feel the cool, sacred water against their skin, water that once received the fallen, now welcoming the living. Some claim to hear whispers beneath the surface. Others speak of an unseen presence, as if something ancient watches from the depths. Its beauty is not loud or flashy. It's quiet, reverent, almost holy. The vines and roots reaching from the sky seem like the fingers of the divine touching down. The moss-covered walls resemble the aged pages of forgotten history, and the water, never completely still, as if something is always stirring in its depths. Many who stand at the edge of Sinkholes weep, not from fear, but from awe. They realize how small they are before something so old, so sacred, so timeless. Sinkholes is not a sinkhole. It is a mirror reflecting the sky above and the soul within. It does not threaten death. It remembers it, honors it, and turns it into ritual. Not all sinkholes are places of horror. Some, like Sinkholes, are temples, carved by the gods themselves, where life, death, and memory float in silence, waiting to be felt, not explained. Breathtaking Sinkhole, the expanding scar beneath Russia's frozen earth in the icy heart of Russia, where snow blankets the land like a quiet lullaby. The town of Breathtaking holds a chilling secret beneath its pristine white surface. What appears to be a serene winter wonderland is, in truth, the site of one of the most dangerous and unsettling geological phenomena in the country, the Breathtaking Sinkhole. This gaping wound in the earth didn't appear overnight. It began in the 1980s, when aggressive potassium salt potash mining operations carved into the land beneath Breathtaking. What followed was a sobering reminder that nature, when pushed too far, always pushes back. Massive underground caverns, created by decades of extraction, eventually gave way, and the earth above them collapsed, forming what is now an enormous and still growing sinkhole. From a distance, Breathtaking's winter landscape glows under a soft, snowy silence. But get closer, and you're met with a monstrous black chasm tearing through the whiteness. An abyss so deep and wide it looks as if the earth itself had been ripped open. The contrast between the delicate snow and the jagged black hole is almost surreal, beauty clashing with devastation. What makes this sinkhole especially terrifying is its unpredictable growth. Each year, it expands by several meters, silently devouring land, roads, and sometimes even buildings. Despite heavy security and strict access restrictions around the site, ground shifts and collapses still occur unexpectedly, endangering both workers and residents nearby. The consequences ripple far beyond a hole in the ground. Factories, pipelines, transportation networks, and residential areas all are under threat. Cracks appear in roads and foundations. Public infrastructure is in constant danger of destabilization. Every new fissure brings renewed anxiety, and every minor tremor echoes with the possibility of disaster. Geologists have long warned that the region's karstic terrain, highly susceptible to erosion and collapse, combined with industrial activity, makes Breathtaking a ticking time bomb. If left unchecked, the consequences could escalate into a large-scale ecological and human catastrophe. Yet beyond its physical danger, the Breathtaking Sinkhole stands as a monument to humanity's hubris. It's not just a sinkhole. It's a scar, a deep, visible wound caused by our relentless extraction of the Earth's resources. And unlike natural wonders shaped over millennia, this one was made in mere decades by drills, greed, and disregard for long-term stability. Today, the sinkhole is more than a geological anomaly. It's a warning that even beneath the most seemingly solid ground, consequences lurk. That even the quietest snow-covered town can be hiding the Earth's scream. And that when we dig too deeply without foresight, the ground doesn't just sink. It reminds us that nothing we build is permanent when nature is betrayed. Sinkholes, just hearing the name is enough to send chills down your spine. But the truth is, some sinkholes are so beautiful that they make you want to step closer. And that's exactly what makes them the most dangerous. Which sinkhole do you find both beautiful and terrifying the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy videos about strange and creepy things like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Viral Vault channel. See you next time with more mysterious lists.